Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Rambles Show. I'm your host, KillRed40, and this is the show where Red rambles. Today, I have a very special guest, CarlolucaS. Yeah,
it's me. It's me.
It's CarlolucaS.
Yeah, it's me, CarlolucaS. I thought you edit the whole can thing afterwards.
It's totally real.
It's real. It is real. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. This shit is real. You're with Red. 100% authentic. Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars. I couldn't get George Lucas, so I thought I'd get his cousin.
George and I are like, best friends. We talk every day.
Did you ever tell him, hey, dude, I think we need to chill out with fucking Jar Jar?
Yeah, I was the one that wanted Darth Jar Jar and said, no, but the people like, it's like George. Darth Jar Jar is cool. And he's like, no, but the people, like, fuck the people. Darth Jar Jar. And he's like, nah, he eventually calmed down and like, man, George, dude, you fucked up.
If you're listening to this right now, because he probably is, this is the Red Ramble
show.
Yeah. You should have fucking listened to Carl. He knows what he's doing, George. Come on, George. So we've both made our tier lists, right? I've seen the 9 movies, and I sent you my tier list. You sent me yours. And when I saw yours, it was like looking into some kind of fucking alternate dimension. There are so many things attacking me at once. I didn't quite know what was going on. We've got the Coom section, which
the Coom section.
I noticed that none of these are like the official movies.
No. None of them are official. No.
And that is above the top section.
Exactly.
So, damn, dude, I don't even know what half of these things are on the Coom section. I've never coomed before.
Yeah, if you buddy with George Lucas, you kind of need to know. If you don't know, he's gonna like, hey, you, dude, why didn't you watch this? And like, sorry, George. And he's like, watch it, and I have to.
So he tests your knowledge on his own things like that.
Yeah, constantly.
Oh my god. This guy's...
He's like, he is the lore keeper. So I'm like, yo, George, what about this? He's like, no, man, it's not like that. It's like that. I'm like, oh my god, of course, makes so much sense. He's a genius, visionary even.
Genius, visionary, amazing. You have to study Star Wars like you study fucking philosophy.
Or the Bible.
Or the Bible, especially, yeah. So we're going to go with the first one, Episode 1, Revenge of the Sith.
Episode 1.
For me, I put it on my B tier list. I'm going to admit, I've noticed that I'm a little bit more generous with Star Wars. I'm okay with it a little bit more than most people. I went and I watched the prequels just recently because I couldn't really remember them. And honestly, I thought it was an okay movie. Like, the beginning is really rough, but then after we get to, especially the pod race scene, I thought it was pretty good. And then where did you put it?
I put Revenge of the Sith in the mid category. But it's lower than The Phantom Menace, but higher than episode 5. Just for the reason that, like, the fight is amazing at the end, but everything else is like, it's okay. It holds up, but it's I love Padme and the Anakin shit. It's great. I kind of like love the idea of 2 completely broken people finding each other and then their life being like blown apart because the Dark Force. But like overall, it's like it's okay. It's okay. It's made. It's fine. You should watch it. That's it.
Yeah, I think that it's a fun movie, especially like that pod race scene. I feel like it fucking slaps you in the face because before that, it's like a okay movie. But then all of a sudden, this scene is like really good. I really liked that scene, just watching it again. Okay, is that all you wanted to say about this one?
Mid for me is like, it's okay. You should watch it. It's fine.
Okay, sweet. So you shouldn't ignore it. Like, this is a pretty okay movie.
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. You should watch it.
Okay, so that goes next to Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now I fucking hate this movie. I hate this movie. This is, in my opinion, the worst Star Wars. I gave it a D because I'm not smart enough to figure out how the tier list thing works. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to use the preset one. D, Attack of the Clones. Oh my god, dude. This one is hard for me to get through. I know people defend it.
It's very slow.
I feel like it's like supposed to be like a noir thing. But then that just doesn't work with Star Wars, in my opinion. You put it in the mid category though, too, right?
Yes. I put it above Revenge of the Sith, and there's a reason for that. The biggest reason I put above Revenge of the Sith is because of the sand scene. Because I think the sand scene, the one that gets memed on, like, I love sand, it has the most potential out of all the, like, romance scenes that George came up with. I go up to George every time and say, George, what the fuck did you do with the romance? Why did you write it like that? And he's like, I didn't know, and I'm like, motherfucker, you had You had perfect synergy in the story and you fucked it up. Because I like it so much, because in my head, the scene plays out differently. I'm like, I'm putting it above Revenge of the Sith. Even though I like Revenge of the Sith better than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I could see that. Rewatching it, I understood what you were saying in your video, by the way, that you just barely came out with, or a little bit ago, which link in the description. Go check it out.
Nice.
I understood what you were saying more after rewatching it. There are certain parts where it gets really close to being really good.
Oh,
like,
it's so close.
Like, there's a part in particular that I really like. Well, I shouldn't say I really like, but I got close to really liking.
Yeah.
Where Anakin's talking about how he killed all those sand people. It's like, oh, if you would have just nailed the tone a little bit better,
yes,
this would have been fucking amazing.
And instead of Padme just having a blank stare and she's like terrified but holding Anakin because she understands why he did it, the scene turns from like cringe to like, oh my god, this is cinema. This is Scorsese would look at this and say, "Oh my God, cinema! I love it." Not Marvel. Yeah,
this is real cinema.
Yeah, exactly. And like George, you get so close, but yet so far. You're so close.
I don't know what happened there, because like even that specific scene that I'm talking about, like I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong, because even Hayden Christensen, Hayden Christensen,
his performance is fine.
He's doing pretty good. Like, I don't know what is going on with that scene, but I'm like,
there are two things.
It's so close.
There are two things, and this is a problem with like the whole prequel problem, is the music never shuts the fuck up. It's always there. And like, George, please stop with the music. Just let it breathe. Just let it breathe. Yeah. Don't put orchestral music behind this shit.
Give the composer a rest, George.
He's working overtime here.
Let him chill. His arms are hurting. He needs to relax, George.
He needs to go jerk off a little bit, okay?
A little bit. He won't be able to jerk off, George, because of you.
Exactly.
You can't take away a man's happiness like that. Exactly. You're not Amazon, George. This is art.
Exactly.
I want to say one more thing about Attack of the Clones, because I think this might be my most spicy opinion about this movie. I don't like the Roman Colosseum scene. I don't like it
either.
Oh, thank you.
I don't like it
either. Thank you. Finally, I found another person.
The only thing I like is motherfucking Samuel L. Jackson decapitating a guy. That's it. Everything else is meh.
Yeah, can we just say, I just want to get this out of the way too. Samuel L. Jackson, like throughout this whole trilogy, is really good.
Yes.
Honestly. Like, there were a lot of times when I was like, he almost feels out of place because he's way better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, he is so good at what he does.
He's like, wow, he's acting. Wow.
Yeah.
This is an actor. Holy shit. I'm buying what he's selling.
I believe it.
Yeah.
This is so surreal coming from a Star Wars movie.
Like, that's a Jedi? That's a Jedi. I'm looking at the Jedi right now.
Exactly. Especially in our next one, which is episode 3. This is Revenge of the Sith, right? Did I fuck up the names?
No, episode 1 now.
You
started with Revenge of the Sith. You said Revenge of the Sith first. Okay,
I do this all the time.
Okay. So let's rewind time. Episode 1, where does it go? Episode 1 goes basically above Attack of the Clones for me, because it has the whole big pod racing scene is like you will remember the pod racing. If you forget everything, you will remember the pod racing and the guy with the spikes on his head. So it's like, yeah, you remember that. That's why I think it's like, yeah, it's an okay movie. But those are the things that people remember.
Darth Maul, right?
Darth Maul. I say Spikehead because nobody remembers the name.
It's okay. He's hard to remember, especially next to his cousin Darth Retail.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I understand. So episode 3 is Revenge of the Sith, though, right? Yeah, it's not Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I always do this because
Phantom Menace is episode 1.
Yeah. Okay, for me personally, this is the best of the prequels, in my opinion. I give it an A.
Mm-hmm.
Carl.
Yeah, we have the exact opposite. I have Phantom Menace first, then Attack of the Clones, then Revenge of the Sith. The Revenge of the Sith, because the two things I like is like the lightsaber fighting at the end, and even though everyone memes on it, he's saying when Darth Vader comes out and says no, and we're like, oh my god, this is so cringe. Like, motherfucker, he's a robot now. He lost his wife. Of course he's upset. What do you expect? Of course he's gonna be cringe. What do you expect?
Yeah, I think if my wife died, I'm gonna be as cringe as I possibly can.
You're gonna bawl your eyes out. You're gonna be oh, no, she died, and like and also you killed her. You're like, oh no, I fucked it up. I fucked up early.
I would be so fucking cringe, dude. Yeah. I would play every Sonic game, and then I'd watch Rick and Morty simultaneously.
Exactly.
I'd be as cringe as I possibly can.
By listening to 100 gecs.
Yes, 100 gecs is not cringe. That is based. I'm sorry.
But I'm just saying, at some point, we 100 gecs lovers need to admit that, we are cringe, but we embrace it.
We can't admit it because it's more cringe if we don't. So it's better. We need maximum cringe.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
We want the cringe. You guys just don't understand.
After that is episode 4, A New Hope. Me?
A New Hope.
I gave it an A. It's a pretty good movie. It's passable. It's like an action movie. I like it. It's all right.
I put it at the top of mid. Yeah, it's the highest in the mid section, which is that's pretty good. I put a lot of shit in the mid section. That's good. You kind of achieved a lot of things. The one thing I remember is that you notice the difference between Mark Hamill and McGinnis, because one is a classically trained actor and the other one is a Hollywood actor, relatively new to the scene. And you notice the difference. One is it's Mace Windu and Samuel L. Jackson and the rest of the Star Wars crew. It's oh, this is an actor. That's a Jedi, and you're like, oh, that's an actor. Okay, I get it. But then you watch the next movie, and you're like, oh my god, Luke or Mark Hamill got so much better. Holy shit, it's an actor now. Oh, how many projects did this guy do to get to that point?
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I noticed that. I will admit, with this original trilogy, I've got some rose-tinted glasses that I can't take off. So it's hard for me to really critique it, but I think I totally agree with you now that I think about it. One thing that I really like about this one too is it's very atmospheric compared to a lot of the other Star Wars movies.
And the music shuts the fuck up sometimes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Who would have guessed?
At the very beginning with the whole thing with R2-D2, it's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
There's not very much music. There's a ton of sound effects, little bleeps and bloops, and you're seeing just kind of how this world works. And none of the lore is being flat out told to you. It's just, you're just watching it happen.
Yep.
And I love that. One thing that I fucking hate about a lot of this high fantasy stuff is when they stop the movie and they don't let you figure out the lore on your own. They just have to tell you. But A New Hope does it perfectly, in my opinion.
Mystery box done right. Show the mystery, but you can kind of glance of what it is. Unlike, we're going to talk about the prequels, but unlike certain directors that think the mystery box is the only thing that should ever be done and never explain anything. Some directors think,
Not Carl Lucas. The superior George
Exactly.
Okay, so episode 5 is the next one. The Empire Strikes Back. I gave it an S. Carl gave it
top, which is also an ass, basically. But not the highest, because the highest is actually Dawn of the Jedi in the top category.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, so Dawn of the Jedi, actually, not Dawn of the Jedi. It's written because, deep lore. The Jedi were the predecessors to every Jedi and Sith. They discovered the Force, they got into training, and Dawn of the Jedi is basically... There's this sister and brother. They are both born very powerful Force users, and she's very torn to the light, and he's very torn to the dark. And throughout this whole thing, they make the Jedi Order and the Sith Order as the founders, because beforehand there was just one order, there was just one group. They called themselves the Jedi. And when someone was more torn to the dark side, they went to a place where the light was more present, and when they were torn to the light side too much, they went to the place where the dark. And so it's there was this very balanced society. But the sister and brother duo basically split the Force apart in the story. And it's the cool story about the Jedi, basically.
They did all of this in a porno parody?
No, it's an actual real movie. It's not a movie. It's a real book. It's a real book.
Okay. Is this in the like expanded universe?
Yeah, it's
is this
expanded
still
universe.
canon?
Yeah, I don't know if it's canon anymore, but like I thought this is what they wanted to do with the Force Awakens, with the sequels. I'm like, oh wait, that's basically Dawn of the Jedi, but like they never did that. With the whole power, light and dark, with Kylo Ren and Rey's like, oh, they're just ripping off Jedi but making it worse.
That's interesting. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Let me return back to The Empire Strikes Back. You gave it a top. I gave it an S. I actually don't think there's much to say, honestly, because like this movie's just fucking good.
Yep.
Like we've got the Hoth scene, which is awesome. It's iconic. We have the ending, which is amazing, beautiful. That's like the way that a second part of a trilogy should end, is where you want to come back for the third one. If
someone asked me which movie should I watch first about Star Wars, I said just watch Empire Strikes Back. That's the movie you need to watch.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, anything else, like the New Hope is a little bit slow. Then the prequels have all the quirks, but they're not that great. But like Empire Strikes Back hits everything. It hits every single beat. It doesn't stop. You're like pop 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 pop, and you're like, okay, I know what to talk about now.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, well, what about the explanation of the Force? Well, you got fucking Yoda there.
Yep.
So yeah, totally. And Yoda's awesome in this movie. I love him in Empire Strikes Back, which we don't really see him like that really again.
Yeah, and now canonically, Yoda is just a fucking weirdo. Because the rest of his race talks normally. He's just a fucking goblin. He's just a fucking troll goblin. That's what he is. I'm like, yeah, that actually, that's great. I think that's amazing. Yeah, Yoda should be a troll goblin. Yeah.
You love it?
Yeah, I love it. He's just a troll. You're like, yeah, typical Yoda. Makes sense. Makes total sense.
Okay, so next we have Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Now this one might be a little bit controversial.
Yeah, I'm at spicy.
I gave it an S.
Ooh.
I like Return of the Jedi a lot. Yeah, because it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And you can't argue with my feelings, okay, Carl?
Yeah, facts about your feelings. Oh, it's disgusting.
No, feelings above facts, okay, Carl? I'm going to cry, depending on what you say.
I like it as well.
So be careful.
Yeah, so I put it... okay. But I put it all the way back behind Return of the Sith in the mid category. The main reason being that the whole rebellion on that planet, or whatever the fuck it's called, is... I find that very lame. I'm like, it's there's the chase scene which I find cool. Leia like going full boss girl mode and like killing all the stormtroopers. I find it cool that they have to deactivate the whole thing on the planet. It makes a lot of sense. They have the fight with Luke and Vader and like father-son dynamic, and like Vader finally coming to his senses and like, oh my god, after all these years, I can now come back to my wife, even though he comes back as a Force ghost. So I don't know what's going on here. You know, maybe he's not Leighton Pipe anymore in heaven. Who knows? But I like all those things, but it's like the first movie. It is very slow. There's some like scenes, and then like if I wanted to show someone Star Wars, this wouldn't be the movie.
Carl,
I say
Carl,
Empire Strikes
Carl,
Back. Empire Strikes
You're breaking my heart.
Empire Strikes Back would be the movie I show and like, watch this. That's the or the Phantom Menace.
But Carl, there's teddy bears.
I know.
There's actually, they overthrow the government.
Know.
Teddy bears overthrow the government, Carl.
Yeah, I would rather have the Irish there. I don't know. Like, give me the IRS every day of the IRA every day of the week. You know, like yeah, just give me them. Like laying pipe bombs, driving up with cars. You know, blowing up parliament would fit with the whole politics narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Yeah. No. I really like the movie, but it's all the way back in the mid category.
Episode 7, the first of this new Disney molested trilogy. I don't know what else to call it. It feels like that. Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I gave it a C. I think I don't know. Yeah. It's like a collage of things happening. Yeah.
I gave it a bottom. Bottom is like, don't necessarily watch it. There's some things I like about it. It's it's below Star Wars: The Republic Online. Star Wars: The Republic Online is not an MMO. It's a single player game disguised as an MMO. If they had made a single player game that was more focused and didn't have a lot of filler and predatory monetization shit, it would have probably been fine. But no, they needed to make the online game. That's how much I don't want to talk about The Force Awakens, because it was not that great. I put The Force Awakens in a very specific category, okay? I put The Force Awakens in Disney be racist, okay? Very simple explanation. The Chinese poster of Disney has Finn small, like really, really small, because he's black. That's the reason. It's not even like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. No. That's the reason. But Asian people, or specifically Chinese people, are very, very racist. And they wouldn't watch a movie with a black protagonist. And who is the protagonist in Star Wars? Huh? It's Finn. John Boyega. Best boy, okay? And they give him a lightsaber in the poster. And what does happen in the movie? Well, in this movie, he gets the lightsaber, he uses it, you think, oh, maybe he's a Jedi? But we'll see what happens next.
The thing that's most frustrating about this movie is that it sets up a lot of good things, but, like, nothing fucking happens with it. And I don't know, like this whole trilogy, you can just tell it wasn't planned very well. It was like somebody was like making train tracks, but they were just kind of like letting everyone else do it without any direction. And so the train just fucking falls apart. Like it just crashes as soon as it hits these tracks. And that's how this trilogy feels.
Someone described it as a movie director PvP. Player versus player, basically. You're like, they're fighting over the story.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that I do like about this trilogy, though, is it made Star Wars a little edgy to talk about.
Yeah.
There are like 3 things that I don't talk about at work now. Politics, religion, and Star Wars. And it's because of this trilogy. Everybody has one that they fucking hate and one edgy. That they really like.
It's
it's edgy.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Exactly. This is at the back of the video store. Next one, episode 8, which might be the most controversial Star Wars ever, is The Last Jedi. You're probably going to be surprised where I put this one. I put it as a B.
I put it at the bottom, under Star Wars: The Republic online game. Visuals, amazing visuals. I don't care much about what happens in the mainline story, but I do care about Disney be racist again. So, I have this theory, okay?
Oh, wow.
Let me tell you about it.
So, yeah, give me it.
Suddenly, Finn and the Asian chick, I have no idea what her name is. By the way, don't go and harass her, even though that should be clear. They go out and are gone from the most of the plot. And what they do is not relevant to the plot whatsoever. So
that's true.
I'm like, did they cut that part of the movie in the Chinese version? And I'm like, yeah, I most certainly they did. I have not looked at it.
They did?
I tried to look it up because there's no information on it, but it seems that way. So that whole Finn and Asian chick thing was just there so they could cut it out. So they didn't need to show the black guy in the movie. Which is like, I wanted to put this in Disney be racist, but like, that's so beyond Disney be racist. I'm like, oh my god, you got all duped. All of you got fucked. You think that's important that what they did? It's not. They fucked you. Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yep. And nobody noticed.
Holy fuck.
And nobody noticed. And like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody was too busy looking at Laura Dern's hair.
Yeah, exactly.
To notice that. Oh, it's purple. It's a bad movie. Her hair is purple. Or whatever it is. Yeah. What is it?
It's not the purple hair. It's that she's a ball gown in the middle of a fucking war. Nobody wears a fucking ball gown in the middle of a fucking war.
Okay, but it is Star Wars, right?
Even fucking Leia wears a fucking protective headgear and fucking armor. She was a general, for fuck's sake.
But Carl, it is Star Wars, right?
It is Star Wars, yes.
So it is okay, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I really personally, the reason why I give this one a B is I really like Grumpy Luke. Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah. A lot of people were fucking pissed by that, but I thought that was the most interesting thing about the movie. Personally,
the problem is not Grumpy Luke. The problem is like the setup. Where's the setup? Like, where does Grumpy Luke come from? Like, I can make my own headcanon where he comes from. But like, they do that in like 15 seconds. They show, he tried to kill his like one of his apprentices that was going to turn evil, and eventually it did turn evil. Like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, so Luke was right, I guess. What?
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think the other thing that is a point of contention with this movie that I actually like, that other people don't like, is Yoda. Yoda comes out and says a lot of this shit is wrong about the Force. I like that. Yeah, I like it a lot.
And that's what Yoda should have recognized, because Luke is the living embodiment of like, yeah, maybe what we taught for like thousands of years is not correct. Maybe we
Do you like that too?
Yeah, I like that finally the Jedi are like, yeah, maybe we were wrong. You know? Maybe we should change.
Oh my god. I did not know we were going to agree this much.
I said this for like, that's why I like the original Jedi, like in the prequels, but also that's why I like the OG movies, because it's like Luke is the embodiment of like change. He's like, we shouldn't do what you think is right. We should fight for our friends, even though we might lose an arm and leg. We should change. We cannot be stuck in time. That's why he is able eventually to free his father. The whole reason why he's able to like free his father, because he is for change. He says, you are evil in the past, but you should change. You should get a second chance. It's okay to come back from the dark. That's the whole point. That's why it's called the New Hope, because Luke is literally the hope. So Yoda seeing what Luke did and saying, hey yo, change is good, is like, yeah motherfucker, change is good. You should have realized that by now.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Wow, this makes me so happy.
That's why I hate Ryan Johnson's rest of the shit. It's like, how did you manage to get this thing right but everything else wrong? How? How?
I don't know. I think some of it personally was studio meddling.
Probably,
in my opinion.
Probably.
Like, for example, the last fight that takes like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he wanted to put that there.
Yeah,
but probably. I could just be on the director's side here. I tend to do that.
It's a massive fuck up from everyone, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so next one, episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. Where did you put this one?
So I have a very specific grouping for these kinds of movies and series we will see. It's called CW writing. CW, for everyone that is unaware, is a TV network or TV channel that writes Arrow, Flash, The Legends of Tomorrow, all the DC Extended Universe series. And the writing is atrocious. It is so bad, even CW people that really like the show look at it and think, yeah, it's not that great. So even if your fans, your biggest fans are like, yeah, it's not that great, that means you suck. So... And what was Rise of the Skywalkers, whatever the fucking name is called, goes in that thing. It goes in CW writing. It is at least picked some threads that the last movie did and tried to work with it. What that movie did is like, mystery box. It like went like completely ogre mode, goblin mode on the fucking story. It's like, what the fuck? And I will scream this until I die. They did my boyfriend dirty. Extremely dirty. Give him the power. Give him the sword. Give him the training. Motherfucking make him a black Jedi. Make him the black Jedi. Making a school as Mace Windu. But no. China bad. China don't want to see black people. So no. Fuck you.
In preparation for this, right, I had never seen this movie. Mm-hmm. I hadn't. In preparation for this, I went online. I looked up some reviews. And if you want me to, I'm going to read some of them. Whoa. The only thing I can say about this film is simply, whoa. Rey Skywalker. The woman named Rey Skywalker. A Skywalker happened to be named Rey. The Last Jedi called Rey. And of course, Rey. Daisy Ridley performed as if she was going to die in real life. If she didn't perform at her best, she delivered, of course, and was able to successfully portray Queen of the Universe, Rey Skywalker, in a girl boss fashion. I love Rey Skywalker! So that's the first one. I have 2 more. Reflecting upon this film is parallel to reflecting upon this year as a whole. My 2019 has been rough, devastatingly rough. I've gone through a breakup. I've lost a job I really liked. I have health issues that have sent me to the ER. On 2 occasions within a short time span, my personal economy is a mess, and I've been generally miserable throughout the year. And after seeing so many negative reviews, I had very little hope for this film, like I've had very little hope about my life turning around for the better. All is well that ends well, though, as they say, and the last few days have given me a brighter outlook, because not only was The Rise of Skywalker far better than expected, but I'd put it up there with the original trilogy, and it's a doubtless favorite among the newer films. And then I have one more. It's a good movie. If anyone thinks this is a bad movie, they can fuck off and suck a dick.
I guess true. I mean, feelings, feelings above facts.
Yes. So
sure.
based off of that, I gave it an S. Based off of that.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So do you disagree with that?
No. After hearing these very compelling arguments, I have to say, Coom plus, I would say. Coom plus.
Coom plus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. I'm glad that we could figure out something.
I mean, especially the Ray part, especially that one, brought me to tears. I mean, it would have made more sense if she said, I'm Ray, and just Ray, instead of adding steal a name from someone that you barely knew. But, it's like writing a 101, like trying to write like a compelling character. Who knows that today, Who has time for this shit? Just write whatever.
Girl boss, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's not like Princess Leia was like one of the baddest bitch in the universe. That's all. Nah, man. Nah.
No. I mean, Padme's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Actually, yes. She can open her throne and she has a fucking blicky. She can pull out the blicky in the middle of like negotiations. Okay, so
yeah.
Tell me about the girl boss. Okay,
Come on. She has someone die for her.
Yes.
That's boss.
Yes.
That is boss.
That's boss.
That is CEO shit.
Yes.
Right there.
She has she's ruthless. Like Pokemon.
Yeah. But I mean, Ray is better.
Yeah, of
obviously.
course.
Right. So yeah, I didn't see the movie, but it is definitely an S.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up our Star Wars thing. How do you feel that the fan base feels right now? What is the general vibe you're getting? So
I think there's like 3 parts of the fan base. It's similar to like certain game genre or like game series that go for long enough, where you have like several. They start to like splinter. You have Assassin's Creed, for example, has the original Assassin's Creed enjoyer that like the stealth game and the mechanics and the parkour. Then you have like the middle ground people that like the middle stuff, which was like a start with Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, where it had like a completely new mechanic, and then ended with Origins, where it had like a completely RPG in quotation leveling system with like a little bit more combat, but stealth was still very viable. And then you have like the new Assassin's Creed enjoyers, which is like started with Odyssey and is now with like Valhalla. These are 3 completely different genres. Like they speak to completely different people. And Star Wars is the same thing. You have the OG enjoyers, right? The people that really like the OG. You have the prequel enjoyers that like really like the whole high fantasy romance Shakespearean thing. And now you have like the sequel enjoyers, which are like they like the visuals, they like the progressive thinking, they like the change in every movie. So right now you have like these 3 completely different fan bases that are at odds with each other. Maybe the prequel people and the OG people still understand each other, but those 2 people do not like the sequel enjoyers. So it's like it's a constant war between the 3. And then you have people like me, and are like, haha, shut the fuck up. I love the extended universe. Okay, I like the Darth Bane trilogy. I like the fucking Dawn of the Jedi shit. I like the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic stuff. So yeah, and we are against everyone because we think everyone is stupid.
I think I'm just too small brained to get into the extended universe. I don't think I could handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like some Neil
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, that's some Neil deGrasse Tyson shit.
Actually.
I don't think I could handle it. I'm just kind of like a normie when it comes to Star Wars.
Most people are normies when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah, like the basic shit. I did see like some of the other ones. I think I saw Solo. I don't remember it.
Yeah, CW writing for me. It goes right in there.
Yeah. What I think what will happen with the future of Star Wars, right, is I think Star Wars has a very good marketing plan. And it's this. They make sequels specifically to piss off the older people.
Yes.
So that they make the recent ones look good.
Yeah.
And that's the cycle of Star Wars.
Probably.
That's how they trick everybody into thinking that these are actually good movies. Is they're like, oh, you thought that was bad? You better wait for this next one. And then they make something worse, and everybody goes, oh, okay, now those are good. These are the bad ones. That's what I think.
It's similar to Call of Duty. Call of Duty has one okay game, one better game, one shit game. So everyone thinks that the okay game was good and the good game was great. So like, okay, good, shit. Okay, good, shit. So everyone thinks, oh no, Call of Duty got better. It's like, no, they stagnated. Nothing got better. Nothing got worse. It's just literally the same shit over and over again. You're getting duped. You're getting duped.
You're getting played.
You're getting played by the man, by the boss.
Oh man, by Mickey.
By Mickey himself.
You're getting played by a fucking mouse.
Exactly.
That's gotta hurt, but I'm still gonna watch them.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so with that said, I think it's time for our weekly fortune cookie. Let me get this bad boy up and going. I gotta grab my hammer.
And now that I know it's
smash
real.
This. Yeah, it is real. It really is real. Give me 1 second. Okay. I wish that you could have one. I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to listen
in memory.
Okay, here we go. There goes the plate. Okay. Let me chew some of this up.
So excited for the cookie.
I think this will be a good one. What do you think, Carl?
I think this will be an amazing one.
You think it'll tell us the future of Star Wars?
For sure.
Okay, this one's about Rian Johnson. Are you ready? You are capable, competent, creative, careful. Prove it. All right. So, everybody, you guys are all creative, confident, careful. I love you all. Go out there and prove it this week. Get out to work. Get on that grind set. Be a real Rian Johnson, a real Sigma male.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, there we go. You guys have a good one. Peace.